yo, what's the deal? Man, it's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As a different coin, y'all see the clock right there, it's 1:38 p.m. You know what I mean? October 25th, 2025. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm doing something brand new into, you know what I'm saying, into my discussion videos. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got a mic and everything, and I'm using my, I'm using my other phone for LED screen. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying something new. You know what I mean? Like, it's a brand new setup and stuff for me. You know what I mean? So I'm not really used to speaking on a mic, but fuck it. You know what I mean? It's nothing. There's nothing wrong with trying something new and shit. You know what I mean? So this is the first discussion video of the day. You know what I'm saying? A couple of things happened, within the last 24 hours. I was watching fucking, what's the shit called? Women in Wrestling, Wild Women in Wrestling. You know what I mean? I seen the tag match with, what's these girls' names? Miami Sweet Heat. Like, it was a cage match. And they fought, what's the fuck is the team name? Holly Swag and Penelope Pink. So, there was actually a turn. I think this girl, Holly Swag got beat, from, her tag team partner turned her back on her and such, because it was a steel cage match for the Wild Women's Tag Team Championships, and the girl Penelope Pink, she beat the shit out of her tag team partner, and what's his face joined her. Miami Sweet Heat, who I like to call, the white girls with the soup coolers. Every time, it's funny because every time I think of Wild Women in Wrestling, like I always think of those two broads. You know what I mean? They're my favorite team in that whole fucking company because they stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? It's twins. They call themselves the Carlton Twins. Like, I think Luscious Lindsay and I forgot the other one. You know what I mean? But they got like soup coolers and shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was crazy. I was watching it with Mama Tag last night. And yeah. So this is the first discussion video of the day, like I said. And I want to talk about something very interesting because, in pro wrestling, it doesn't matter, which company you work for and such. You're always going to have turnover. That's just how it is in professional wrestling, right? And so, we're talking about turnover. I know the fucking, the siren and shit. We're talking about turnover in professional wrestling. That's nothing new. It's nothing new because you're always going to have people leave, to go to different promotions. No wrestler stays loyal. None. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I mean? Like, there's no such thing as loyalty in pro wrestling. Let me ask you this question, right? Keep it a buck. When is the last time you seen a professional wrestler who started their career, legit started their career and ended their career in that same company? You have never seen that. And before y'all say, oh, but Tag, you got fucking, you got, Randy Orton and Batista and John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Where did they start off first? If I'm not mistaken, didn't they go to fucking OVW? Even though that's developmental, that's still another promotion. I'm talking about a wrestler that started within that company and ended within that company. The only one I can think of, honestly, and I could be wrong about this too, is the Brooklyn Brawler. That's it. That's the only one I can think of. You know what I mean? That's the only one I can think of and shit. Damn, my fucking mic just got messed up. What the fuck? Your mic sucks. What the fuck? Fuck it, I'll talk like this. But here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing we're talking about with pro wrestling. You're always gonna have turnover in pro wrestling. Always. Because we're talking about turnover, not one wrestler stays in the company forever. I'm sorry to tell you about it. Not one stays in that promotion. And I'm gonna give you a couple reasons why turnover is always important in professional wrestling, right? Always. Okay? Number one, roster changes makes it harder for fans to connect, but fresh faces are introduced and new feuds are made. Now, free agents. You're always gonna have free agents. Always. It doesn't matter who you are, like what rank, what rank in the card you at. It doesn't matter. A wrestler can only be as hot, for so long as they stay, right? Meaning that a professional wrestler, let's say like someone wrestles for a promotion for like maybe 12 years, right? 12 years and such. You might have to say, you know what, maybe it's time for a change. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time for a change and such. Maybe it's time to, to recharge that star's stock, right? And we're seeing this a lot. We see this a whole lot. You know what I mean? We see this with fucking, great example, Bryan Danielson. You know what I mean? Cesaro. It was basically time for them to go. To go somewhere else, right? Because, you start to get tired of the person and such. And it's like, all right, maybe they need to go somewhere else to be fresh, right? And you see that with fucking Nick Nemeth, right? You see that with Nick Nemeth and shit. Like I said, fresh faces, new feuds, you know what I mean? Like it keeps everything thorough, right? The second one is promotions lose stability and trust when talent leaves, but new trusted energy increase. So basically, best example, Penta. This year, Penta came in, you know what I'm saying? And it was like a new vibe of energy just burst onto the scene. You know what I mean? A brand new vibe. And, we see this a lot. You know what I mean? We clearly see this a whole lot with, with talent and such, when they come in and this new energy, you know what I mean? Like, it's fresh, new face, new everything, right? So pretty much, that's what you get. A bunch of new energy just, woof. You know what I'm saying? Like you see that a lot. You clearly see that a whole lot when there's new talent that comes into a promotion, right? All the time, right? And of course, the other one too is too much turnover. And this is important. Too much turnover can damage consistency and audience loyalty, right? We're seeing that right now with AEW, right? But it creates new exposure for new talent to shine and keep the product fresh. And that's an important thing too. Like talent turnover is not a bad thing because it keeps the business healthy, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Shit, WCW, we see this with WCW. You know what I mean? Like people leave and they come back. You know what I mean? They leave, come back. It's always like that. We see this a lot. You know what I mean? Like fuck, we see this with Andrade. You know what I mean? The motherfucker left, came back, left and came back. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens all the time. It happens all the time in professional wrestling. Like, again, there is no wrestlers who are going to, there's no wrestler who's going to actually stay within the promotion for the remainder of their career. That's especially now, that's super rare. That's super rare. Super rare. Right? It's super rare because, you have you have not only turnover burnout, but you also have, wrestler burnout, right? It's like, all right, you know what? Maybe if I go over here, maybe they might use me a little better and such, right? And that happens. That happens a whole lot. I mean, like I said, we see shit. Like I said, WCW 1996, right? How many people from WCW, how many mainstays from WCW jumped to the World Wrestling Federation? Right, within that year. There was like maybe 8 or 9. And look at the people they made stars out of. One being Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know what I mean? So, it's healthy. It's healthy. You know what I mean? Brian Pillman. I will always go back to that year. Vader, Ron Simmons, Tuco Scorpio, fucking Mick Foley. You know what I mean? Barry Windham. You know what I'm saying? A bunch, B. A bunch. This is what happens. This is exactly what happens. I said Ron Simmons. You know what I mean? Like, this is what happens. You know, Dustin Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is exactly what happens, and it's not bad. It's, again, it keeps the business healthy and fresh. You know what I'm saying? So, does it hurt long-term investment? To some degree, but no, not necessarily. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Like, oh, this person shouldn't sign with this person. Who the fuck is you to tell that person who to sign with, who not to sign with? Right? But the thing is, if they sign to a company and they're not used, I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. You know what I mean? Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? My fucking mic ain't working, but fuck it. I'm going to start doing the discussion videos like this. You know what I mean? So I'm going to definitely holler at y'all. Check y'all. Peace.